to wake up. It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game. Come on!
Let's go. It's hump day, baby. Beautiful Wednesday in the Bay here on the Pregame Show. Joe Spadoni. Fall crispness is in the air. It's getting a little colder at night. Got to huddle together for warmth. Those of you that can do that, it's all right to be solo dolo. Just get an extra blanket on top. Can't be putting that heater on, though. It's too much money. Kidding me? I love it. I love this time of year. It's football, baby. We got Turkey Day in a couple weeks. We got football on Black Friday. We got football all day Thanksgiving. We got football on Christmas. It's just football season officially. World Series is over. Basketball. And we got Warriors Nuggets tonight on 95.7 The Game. I'm not going to poo-poo that. That is a big deal because we'll be reacting to that all day tomorrow. And obviously we'll have all the coverage of that game starting at 6 o'clock with John Dickinson, Warriors Live, before handing it over to the great voice of the Golden State Warriors, our very own at Warriors Vox, Tim Roy, who will be on the call in Denver as the Warriors try to win the road trip, consecutive road trips. Only one loss on the road this year. Those are the Cleveland Cavaliers. No Jamal Murray tonight for the Denver Nuggets, so the Warriors should get greedy. But again, they got that man named Nikola Jokic over there in Denver. Ever heard of him? Pretty good player. So cannot wait for that. And again, you can catch every single Golden State Warriors game all season long right here. Your home for the Golden State Warriors, 95.7 The Game. Good morning to all of you beautiful people. Just getting off work, getting ready for school, getting ready for work, getting ready to do what you got to do. Appreciate you choosing me this morning at 888-957-9570. That's the number to call or text, the Comcast Business text line. You could also hit us up on Twitch or YouTube, powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Just search 95.7 The Game, like and subscribe there. Ring that bell, that Ronnie bell, and be sure to download the Odyssey app as well and take us wherever you need to go. To New Mexico, you got to go to Nevada, you got to go to Washington, Jersey, New York, Florida, wherever you got to go. Download that baby and you'll always have us. All right? Because we're national and we're international here on the Pregame Show. Good morning to, or I should say good evening to all my people out in Australia. Good afternoon, Netherlands, Germany, Austria, Italia, España, all you people. Yeah, those are all the countries I get here. Think I'm kidding? I'm not. All right? I'm not. And good morning to all of you in the YouTube chat, which again, powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Nicholas Lavrov. I love that name, Lavrov. Rolls off the tongue. Is that Russian? Love it. EJ Gomez, Ernie Chavez, Reggie Consolacion, Dublin Marge. Appreciate all y'all chiming in. All right. Enough with the pleasantries. Football season, baby. The Niners are on a 3-game losing streak. It's go time. The code red needs to be had in Jacksonville. It needs to be ordered. What does that mean? I don't care how it happens. You got to come out of there with a win. This is the perfect test. I am so happy the 49ers are playing a team like Jacksonville. It is a perfect test. And not to say, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers wouldn't have been a test, or, I don't know, what other teams out there? Cardinal. No. It needs to be an AFC contender. It needed to be a contender. And if it couldn't have been the Eagles, Jaguars are great. Because outside of the Eagles and Niners, Lions maybe in NFC, I'm not scared of anyone there. Not scared. So the Jaguars are exactly what the San Francisco 49ers needed heading out of a bye week, coming off a 3-game losing streak. And that team's red hot in Jacksonville. 5 in a row. Start off 0-2. They're red hot. Right? So it's going to be very interesting. Sorry, I should say 1-2. They're 6-2. Shout out math. It's hard. So I'm a communications major. But I'm not saying this is a do or die. This is a must win. But I'm also saying if you lose this game, I don't know if I could take you seriously as a Super Bowl contender. Now, can you get to the Super Bowl? Well, yeah, even if you lose this game because the NFC stinks. Right now, the 49ers still have the third best Super Bowl odds to reach it. You got the Chiefs, right? You got the Eagles. You got the Niners. All right. Let's see it. I'm expecting a win this week. Expecting it. Now, I was expecting a win against Cleveland. I was expecting a win against Minnesota. A little iffy on the Bengals one, but I was still leaning Niners because they were at home. They failed to score 20 points in every single one of those games. The defense, I know it's much maligned, hasn't been great. A lot of it's been bend, don't break, and it's broken. Because when the defense does get a turnover, the offense turns it over right back. Defense is gassed. They've been on the field forever. Haven't been getting home to the quarterback. Getting gashed in the run game. Night, see you later. So will the additions of Chase Young help with that? We'll see. We shall see. But it's going to be interesting to see the three different elements of this offense that I think is heavily scrutinized, and rightfully so. That being Steve Wilks, that being Nick Bosa, and that being Brock Purdy. Those, I think, are the three individuals that have been most discussed on these airwaves, and hell, any airwave regarding the San Francisco 49ers the past month. What's going on with Nick Bosa? Is Steve Wilks really the guy for this team on defense? Because we've seen what Robert Saleh could do with a defense. We see what the New York Jets have done on defense. We've seen what DeMeco Ryans now in Houston is doing. Yeah, he got his quarterback, by the way. DeMeco in 9 games, has gotten his quarterback, has taken Kyle, 7 years, 8 years? I don't even know how long he's been a head coach now. It's all just blending in. Funny how that works. Now, Brock Purdy could be the guy still. And if we're going off 17 games played, which is an entire regular season, that's what Brock has started. Well, looking like a good quarterback. What is it? 25 touchdowns, 26 touchdowns, 10 picks, something like that? Okay. But Brock Purdy is always going to be the most scrutinized on this team because it's the San Francisco 49ers, and it's that guy, and it's that quarterback, and everyone is going to compare him, wrong or right, to Mr. Joe Montana, Steve Young, all these guys. This guy was getting comps to Joe Montana after his first relief appearance against the Miami Dolphins. I know. I was taking calls the day after that game. Got Drew Brees comps. And now, for the first time in Brock Purdy's professional career, he's facing some adversity. How's he going to respond this Sunday? I'm very fascinated to watch this game because, again, we kind of touched on it yesterday. The quarterback matchup alone in this one is juicy for a variety of reasons. Here you got in Jacksonville, the chosen one, if you will. It's Trevor Lawrence, one of the greatest prospects in the history of college football, national champion, Clemson, baller, took over for Deshaun Watson. They didn't skip a beat. This guy was a true freshman, winning it all. Hell, Brian Baldinger was on the Morning Roast yesterday, and Baldy, you love him. 95.7 The Game, NFL Insider, Odyssey NFL Insider, NFL Network analyst, former NFL offensive lineman. Baldy breakdowns, does it better than anyone else when it comes to breaking down the film. He was talking about Trevor Lawrence, and again, you can find that entire interview on YouTube. He's talking about Trevor Lawrence winning the varsity high school job in his local high school. Where is it, Georgia? Was that where he's from? He won it in 8th grade. That's ridiculous. You know what I was doing in 8th grade? Playing World of Warcraft. All right? For the Horde. Shout out. It's a deep cut. Yeah, Sam's shaking his head over there. Not into WoW, Sammy? No, it's all right.
No, it's worse. I did RuneScape.
Okay, yeah, that's even worse. That means you couldn't afford the monthly subscription to World of Warcraft.
I did not.
Yes.
No, it was free, and I didn't need to ask my parents any permission to set it up.
There you go. Well, sneaky Joe. I didn't ask my parents. I may not have taken one of their credit cards and just put it there. What is this bill we're getting for $12.99 a month? Oh, that's the service at my high school for tutoring. Didn't work. Lasted a couple months, though. They didn't notice. Shout out 10 kids. 888-957-9570. That's the number to call or text. But the quarterback matchup is fascinating in this one. Trevor Lawrence, again, winning the job in 8th grade is varsity high school. All he's known is success in his career. And then, oh my God, his rookie season, number 1 overall, gets taken by the Jacksonville Jaguars. And who's his head coach? Urban Meyer. In one of the biggest dumpster fire seasons, maybe the worst coaching job in the history of coaching jobs in the NFL. And that's saying something. That's including Nate Hackett. That's including Josh McDaniels. That's including Jim Tomsula. Urban Meyer was the worst. Guy was like hitting his players. What was that? He kicked his own kicker, which sounds kind of funny when you say it like that, but he did. What are you doing, man? You're out clubbing after games. You're not taking the flight home with your teammates. It was all bad. All bad. But then, Jaguars got a grown-up in the room, and Doug Peterson turned it all around. Have one of the greatest, if not the greatest, comeback in the history of the playoffs last year against the Chargers. And now they're 6-2. They're feeling great about their chances in the AFC. Why shouldn't they? They got studs. ETN is a baller. Calvin Ridley is a baller. Right? Christian Kirk, speed. And then on the defensive side, Josh Allen's a freak. He's a beast. So it's going to be a very challenging matchup, to say the least. Not to mention it's 10 a.m. It's an early time, all that jazz. But you're coming off a bye week. You should be rested. You should be ready to go. I don't want any excuses for the early start time. No. So Trevor Lawrence, very good. We illustrated that. All he known in his whole career outside of that rookie season, which was a dumpster fire, has been success. And he actually handled that very well. I don't think Trevor Lawrence gets enough credit for how he handled that entire situation as a rookie. He was a leader that year. He said all the right things. He took accountability. Didn't throw anyone under the bus. Took the high road constantly when his head coach would be tearing down other players. Trevor Lawrence would rise them up. That's what a leader does. And I'm looking over at San Francisco, and they have their own leader in Brock Purdy. But it didn't come the way that it came for Trevor. This guy was the last pick in the NFL draft. Mr. Irrelevant. Brock Purdy. Like, we would use the name Brock Purdy as like a punchline early on. Oh, Brock Purdy? Like, come on. And we got Trey Lance. This guy's highly touted out of North Dakota State. We got Jimmy Garoppolo. Guy's been to a Super Bowl. Have you seen that jawline? Come on, Brock Purdy, please. Come on. Had some success at Iowa State, but he's not, 6'5", 6'6", like Trevor Lawrence. He doesn't have the cannon like a Trevor Lawrence. He doesn't have that hair like Trevor Lawrence. Have you seen that hair? As I'm looking at Sam Lubman's hair right now across the studio, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. How's that guy not on Head and Shoulders? I see Pat Mahomes on there. Where's Trevor at? My goodness. So you see both of these quarterbacks, and you're like, oh, that guy's, come on. But looks can be deceiving, right? And Brock Purdy, he's been just as impressive as Trevor Lawrence at the start of his career, if not better. Again, circumstances. I'm sure if Trevor Lawrence is in Kyle Shanahan's system early on, hell, they may have won a Super Bowl already. That's how highly I think of Trevor Lawrence. But that's how highly I think of Brock Purdy as well. So just comparing the quarterbacks here, it's fascinating just to see, and always just fun to compare and contrast how guys get to the league. And that's the one matchup I'm circling. Again, I wish this was Sunday Night Football because they would really dive deep into this whole thing. 10 a.m. start, I guess. You know who else on that? Oh, is it Who's on that call for Fox? Joe Davis. That's right. Joe Davis, Fox Sports. Daryl Moose Johnson. That'll be fun. Joe Davis is very good at his job. Just coming off the World Series, too, and then he gets to do 49ers, Jaguars. Guy's one of the best in the biz. By the way, he's only like 31, 32. Yikes. What am I doing with my life, Sam? You know what I'm doing? I'm talking to the pregame show, baby. With all of you. That's what I'm doing. And I love it. Nicholas Lavrov on the YouTube chat. Trevor doing no more tears commercials after Sunday. He ain't no phony, Spadoni. Oh, I like that. I've gotten Spafoni in the past. I've seen the Morning Roast YouTube chat when I'm doing a little bit of trolling on there for the Lake Show. It's all good. It's all love. All love. Spafoni was a good one. There's some nicknames in high school where I cannot say because I might get bumped off the airways, even though it is 5 a.m. I'm allowed to do a little raunchier stuff at 5 a.m. There's this little thing in like FCC regulations. Once you hit 10 o'clock through 6 a.m., you're allowed to be a little raunchier. But I'll keep it clean here because I know, might be some little ones up at 5:16 a.m. You never know. I appreciate you chiming in. 888-957-9570 is the number. Speaking of that guy, Trevor Lawrence, Brian Baldinger, who again joined the Morning Roast yesterday, as he does each and every Tuesday at 7:30. He believes the Jaguars are the ultimate test for the 49ers right now.
It's probably a good thing that they're going across the country to Jacksonville and playing one of the hottest teams in the league. Nothing can kind of bring you back to your winning ways than beating a good team on the road. Because when you beat a good team on the road, you get 6 hours with each other on the plane ride back. Like you're watching videos together and you're playing cards, and it's just, it's just a camaraderie that's just built, especially if you're like, you go and you beat one of the elite teams and an AFC team that's won playoff games and they got everything going for them, and you go into Jacksonville and beat them, like you're like, we're back where we belong.
Right.
And in one game, you could restore what we saw the first 5 weeks of the season. I just think this is a perfectly timed matchup, considering the Niners hadn't won a game in a month. And, Jacksonville's done nothing but win in the last month. It's the ultimate test right now for them.
It really is. And I think that's great. I mean, I know we talk about the path of least resistance, but I want to see what this team's, mental makeup is. That being the San Francisco 49ers. Because I've raved glowingly about Trevor Lawrence thus far, all his accolades, all of that. That being said, he has a couple throws a game where it's just like, what the hell was that? Trevor, what was that? And I think there's going to be opportunities for the 49ers in this game to get some turnovers. Now, having said that, they've done that in the past couple games in these losses. And the offense, what do? Sputter out or turn the ball right back over. So I'm looking at the offense in this game. You can just score. Can you get me more than 20 points? Kyle Shanahan, Brock Purdy, Deebo Samuel, who looks like he's ready to go, Christian McCaffrey. All these guys coming off well rest. Can you score 20 points for me? Hot take? I think they do it this week. Although I'm seeing on the YouTube chat, ugly weather in Jacksonville? No, really? Florida? Ugly weather? That can't happen. Come on. Sunshine State. Let's look it up right now. Jacksonville weather. As we pull it up here. Sunday, I'm seeing clouds, but I'm not seeing rain yet. Seeing very humid, a little windy, 69 degrees, they should be fine. 50 miles an hour winds, shouldn't be too bad. But Jake Moody, we'll see. Hope he was doing a lot of kicking in the bye week. Need him to. In the elements too, not the domes. Because the last thing we need is to be in his own dome. All right? Shout out Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. All right? Yeah, it's a deep cut. It's a Fairly Odd Parents reference. You didn't think you were getting that at 5:20 a.m. on the pregame show with Joe Spadoni, did ya? But that's where we're at. More from Brian Baldinger, who again joined the Morning Roast yesterday, on the Jaguars' 5-game winning streak.
I think they're better in the red zone right now. I think the offense is clicking. They have the rookie right tackle. They couldn't score in the red zone against Kansas City at all, but not many teams can. So that's where defense comes into play. They had them at home and had plenty of opportunities. They couldn't score. So I think they figured some of that out. But I think the front is playing a lot better. I mean, Josh Allen's having a great year, his best year ever. Trayvon Walker is playing much better up front. I think you look at the two linebackers, Foye Oluokun is leading the league in tackles again after leading the league 2 years in a row. I mean, you're looking at him right now, and like if you don't block him, he'll make every single tackle. He's their Fred Warner. And so, and then on the back end, you look at a guy like D. Williams, number 31. Like, to me, he leads the league in passes defense. To me, he's as good as any corner in this league. And so I just think all the way around defensively, they're just playing a lot better. And individuals are playing a lot better.
888-957-9570 is the number on the YouTube chat. Stovey, we're going to need 40 points against the Jags. I don't think you need 40. You definitely need 20, though. And I was mentioning the weather just now, and I'm seeing a lot from the YouTube chat and amongst others on the text line. I don't want to hear an excuse about weather. I'm not giving any excuses. I'm not. You got to win bad weather games. You do. And that is something I am still questioning about Brock Purdy. I'm not questioning a lot when it comes to Brock. The turnovers in the fourth quarter, you know what? We'll hear from Baldy in a second. I can live with some of those because he's trying to make a play. Now, some of them are bad. The one right to the linebacker against the Cincinnati Bengals, that was bad. That reminded me of Jimmy Garoppolo. Just didn't see the linebacker at all right in the middle of the field. Not good. But, when he's scampering in the end zone, trying to make a play, the defensive lineman comes out, makes a hell of a play. That's tough. He's got to learn from that. He's got to eat it. Is what it is. But bad weather-wise, he looked awful for, 99.9% of that Cleveland game. Ball was slipping out of his hands, couldn't grip it. Like, that's when the arm strength and some of the physical attributes hurt Purdy, is in bad weather games like that. But 69 degrees, partly cloudy, humid. Come on. Florida, some sprinkles. Please. Can't be an excuse. And I'm not saying it is an excuse. I'm not. Baldy, how does Chase Young fit in with San Francisco?
I would expect Chase to start. I mean, I think it's an upgrade. His movement is elite. I think he needs to learn a lot. I think Coach Kaczmarek can really help him. I think he needs to learn a lot about pass rush. I think he has relied on his athletic ability for too long, which is considerable. Because if the quarterback gets flushed, Chase can literally chase.
Right.
He can chase with some of the best of them in this business. And that's when he kind of comes alive. But if you're saying line up, put your hand in the ground, and come off the ball and go beat your tackle one-on-one, like he has not been able to do that consistently. In fact, Warren Sapp worked with him in training camp this year. And he was like, he was a stand-up 2-point pass rusher. And Sapp's like, put your hand in the ground like a jet and take off. And, when he does that, like he's better, but he says he doesn't see as well when his hand is down and doesn't see what's going on behind the line of scrimmage. Now, I mean, I understand there's restrictions and limitations, but I think Sarah could really work with them to get the most out of them.
Well, let's hope so, because I heard the same thing with Randy Gregory. He had the 1 sack in the Dallas game, and I haven't seen him since. Drake Jackson, haven't seen him after the Pittsburgh game. Has Javon Kinlaw done anything this season? Javon Hargrave? Meh. Nick Bosa? I understand the pressures are up. I need some more sacks for the reigning DPOI and the highest paid defensive player in the league. So it's all great. We love singing the praises of Chris Kaczmarek and what he's done in the past. I want to start seeing some results going forward. I do. And I know Steve Wilkes takes a lot of that blame. I'm looking at Kaczmarek then too. And we praise this guy constantly. Come on. Let's see what you got. You got all the horses. I mean, I just listed off all those names. Drake Jackson, 2nd-round pick. Javon Kinlaw, 1st-round pick. Nick Bosa, 1st-round pick. Javon Hargrave, pick. Chase Young, 1st-round pick now. Randy Gregory had the 1st-round talent, fell in the draft. This may be the most talented defensive line room in the NFL. But production-wise, I still need to see it. And I think this is a great test, again, for that D-line going up against a big, strong quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. Has a quick release, can extend plays with his feet, who makes his money in the pocket, but isn't afraid to scamper around. Looks like he's healed from that leg injury, that knee injury. So, again, great test overall, offensively, defensively, and hey, special teams if the elements aren't there. Can't wait for this game. I'm fired up. It's football season, baby. It's also basketball season as the Golden State Warriors take on the Denver Nuggets tonight in Denver. Coverage of that starts right here at 6 o'clock on 95.7 The Game with Warriors Live. John Dickinson gets you all prepared before handing it off to the great Tim Roy at Warriors Vox. And we'll have all the coverage after the game, too. Taking your calls, your texts, all of that. You're home for the Golden State Warriors, 95.7 The Game. When we come back, more Baldy, and wait till you hear what Peter King had to say in regards to the 49ers and their Super Bowl chances. You may be a little surprised. That's coming up next on the pregame show. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
Considering a home remodel or designing a new one? You'll want to choose new ways to help your family feel healthier and happier. Many architects and builders who team up with Golden State Window and Door Design are experienced in working with their vendors, including Marvin for energy efficiency. Take a look at the Windows and Doors page at goldenstatelumber.com for ideas. Then schedule an appointment.
and discover the San Francisco Historical Society, giving our history a great future. Become a member today.
Now, back to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back. Ooh, a little Dell this morning. I like that. The pregame show. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game. Been talking 49ers.
Who's that? The mastermind. Who's that? The mastermind.
E.E. Elliott. Wow. This is great. No, I'm loving this. Ooh. Little fade out too? Thank you. Appreciate that. Good morning to all you lovely people. Just getting off work, getting ready for school. And some of you up getting ready for school. I've had those 6 a.m. classes. It's a rookie mistake. You know, you always think as a freshman heading into college, oh, I can do those? Please. You're such a lazy SOB freshman year of college. You do not want to do that. Of course, you get those Tuesday, Thursdays, 6 a.m., 3-hour classes, history, 18, 19, whatever it is, post-industrial revolution or pre-industrial, whichever one. Talking Andrew Johnson, Ulysses S. Grant, falling asleep at 7 o'clock. No, brutal. Brutal. I'll try to keep you up till then. I'll try. You know who else is going to try tonight? Try to win. Nice little segue. I'll give myself a 2 for that one. The Denver Nuggets hosting the Golden State Warriors tonight, 7 o'clock. Warriors Live starting at 6 right here on 95.7 The Game. We'll have all your coverage of that game, pre, post, during, all of it. Again, you're home for the Golden State Warriors, 95.7 The Game. No Jamal Murray. That stinks. That sucks. I was really looking forward to that. Defending champs. You want to see them at their best, see the Warriors at their best. Not going to get it. Unfortunate. But still star power, still sex appeal in this one. Whenever you got Nikola Jokic, got Steph Curry, hey, something fun's going to happen. So I can't wait for that one. And can the Warriors win 2 road trips back to back? Winning records? Swept the first one? Can go 3-1? Woo-hoo! Feeling good. I'm a Warriors fan, feeling very good. And I think Niner fans may be feeling good after a win this Sunday. Great? Maybe not. But you need some relief, 49er fans. You just need a win. You don't care how it looks. You're on a 3-game losing streak. Feels like an eternity. Last time they won, we were at a new old building. We were blocks away. My entire life has changed since the Niners last won. I think we had a new administration. But Peter King, long time NFL insider, covers the game at an elite level. Our 95.7 The Game NFL insider, joins Willard and Dibbs every single week. Joined Willard and Larry Kruger in for Dibbs yesterday. Talked about why Sunday is so important for the 49ers, but not crucial. Take a listen to this.
What's so important about this game is just sort of getting back to feel good about yourselves. Say whatever you want about, you go out and you play hard no matter what and all that. But, the 49ers, this little self-doubt has got to be creeping in a little bit. You don't just lose without everybody thinking, man, we're not the same. So I think it's an important game for those reasons. But I also think that I might call it crucial if there were another team in the division that really caused me to stay up at night. But right now, especially with what happened with Seattle on Sunday, I think that it's pretty clear the 49ers are the clear favorites still in this division.
I know it's not the sexy take. It's not the hottest of takes. It's like a meh. And listen, I get it. This industry got to be creating urgency. Look. Urgency. Why do I care? Oh, if you just keep saying, they're fine if they lose it. People aren't tuning into that. I understand. But also, to Peter King's point, if they go to 5-4, I'm still looking around the rest of the NFL, in the NFC in particular. I mean, the Lions are 6-2. Okay, great. I'm not scared of Detroit. I'm not. Good team. Fun. Dan Campbell, coach of the year. Great. It's all awesome. Jared Goff, great. Local guy. We love him. I'm not scared of that team if I'm the Niners. Saints, nah. Good defense. Derek Carr, will he show up when it matters most? I'm skeptical. Seahawks just got destroyed. Long season, I get it. Again, the 49ers beat the Seahawks last year with 3 different quarterbacks. Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Brock Purdy. I think they could toss in Brandon Allen and beat them this year. That's how little I think of the Seahawks and their chances against the 49ers when push comes to shove. The Dallas Cowboys played the Eagles well. Dak looked good. But ultimately, what happened? Came up short, which feels like the entire arc of Dak Prescott's career thus far. Coming up just short. Taking a knee or trying to spike the ball, you don't have time left. You know, just getting close enough to beat Brock Purdy, the 49ers last year, throwing picks. Like, coming up just short feels like that's what it's going to be for Dak Prescott, like it was for Tony Romo before him, unfortunately. Or fortunately, if you talk to a 49ers fan. Minnesota, great story. Awesome. Love what Kevin O'Connell's doing. Talking about Coach of the Year, Dan Campbell. Hell, season ended today, which it doesn't. Kevin O'Connell's Coach of the Year. It's not even close. Josh Dobbs? You kidding me? Taking over for Kirk Cousins? Josh Dobbs didn't even know anyone on the team. Comes in there, straight off the bench after the starting quarterback, the rookie Hall, gets knocked out of the game. This leads a win. Comeback win, too. So I'm looking around at the rest of the NFC. I didn't include the Philadelphia Eagles because I do believe they are on that tier right now with the Kansas Cities, with the Cincinnati Bengals, those type of squads where it's like, okay, yeah, I believe him. I do. So if the 49ers lose this week, yeah, it sucks. It stings. It's 4 straight losses. You're not feeling good. The season's not over. They can go 5-5. I'm still feeling like the Niners are going to make the NFC Championship game. Am I out on an island here? Am I the only one that thinks this? Let me know. 888-957-9570. I am not worried one bit about the San Francisco 49ers. I'm not. I don't care if that's, a lukewarm take for some of you. That's how I feel. Because I've seen Kyle Shanahan do this. I've seen him have a struggling season, and then post-bye week, it all clicks. It's fine. Like, I'm looking at the schedule. If they lose this week, they're 5-4, right? Okay. Tough. But after that, you got Buccaneers at home. I'm feeling good about that matchup. Even though I like Maker, they call him Maker. Baker Bayfield, as Lo Neal once said. I like Baker, bullish on Baker this year. I think he's had a pretty good season, all things considered. They can still win that division, but love the Niners in that spot, coming off 4 straight losses especially. Then you got the Seahawks in Seattle. Okay, that's Thursday Night Football. Tricky. Those ones are tricky. Still like your chances. Eagles December 3rd, circling that one, as we've been doing. Then you got the Seahawks at home, and then you're home to the Arizona Cardinals. So, on the road against Arizona, December 17th. My fault. I feel great about the Niners still. How can I say that coming off 3 straight losses? I can't quantify it. I've seen Kyle Shanahan be in this spot before. And I don't think Brock has been playing as bad as we all think he's been playing. He's made some mistakes. Sure, he has. And those mistakes cost him the game. He is not without fault. I'm not one of those, but he just had a concussion. No. It's a results-based business. Either win or you lose. And the quarterback takes most of the blame, if not all, every single week. That comes with the territory. That came with Brady. That came with Montana. That came with Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes, all of them. You take that L, especially if you have the fourth quarter turnovers that Brock Purdy has had the last few weeks, especially then. And he's taken ownership of that. And I appreciate that, as he should. But outside of some of those mistakes, I liked what I have seen. I have. One more break. Coming on back. 888-957-9570. Do the 49ers need to win? Is this a must win? Or are you with me? They could lose this game and they're still in great shape. 888-957-9570. It's the pregame show. Joe Spadoni. Come on back. 95.7 The Game.
Dell's Black Friday event is their biggest sale of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
When you switch to Boost Mobile, you can get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G and a pretty powerful way to get after it.
Like me, Tusi, a man who fell in love with music and fell on hard times.
rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Dub Nation, this is Tim Roy, and you're listening to the Pregame Show on 95.7 The Game.
Thank you, Tim. It's a pregame show. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game. One more segment here before handing it over to Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky of the Morning Roast. Can't wait for all their topics. I think we're going to dive deep into the 49ers today. And Shasky and I were just talking off air with Sam Lubman as well, just talking about the craziness the holiday season as it pertains to the San Francisco 49ers this year. We know the Warriors always play on Christmas, but the Niners play on Christmas this year too. So, a lot to juggle there. Niners, Ravens, and then on Thanksgiving in a couple weeks, they play the Seahawks. So, there's a lot going on. Oh, by the way, they play on New Year's Eve too, right? Against the Washington Commanders. Oh my God. Craziness. But we love it. We do. We can't help ourselves. Now, our significant others might not love it as much if they are not into sports. Well, it's too bad. It's football season. I only ask for Sundays during a certain stretch of the year. That's all I'm asking for. The occasional Thursday. And then I'm not worrying about baseball season. I'm not worried about that. Yeah, we got basketball a little bit after that. But you know what? Series are long. You can take a playoff here. That just September through February, don't make plans on Sundays. All right? I don't think I'm asking too much. I don't think so. But clearly, Sunday, it automatically during that stretch, it just turns into the most important day of the week. Saturday, hey, I'm not a college football like truther. I don't need my college football. I would like to watch it, but it's not a must. Do whatever you got to do on Saturday, and Sunday, we're relaxing. Hell, I'll cook breakfast for everyone. All right? Just Sunday, couch, me, sit, kids, run around. I'm not asking for a lot. I'm not. Don't know why I'm sounding like this. Oh, this is the new drop I got. I don't know if you guys have been listening to some of the ads here at 95.7 The Game. We've been promoting the AEW, one of the matches, and this spot just opens with this.
I want to pick a fight.
Yeah, I want to pick a fight. And it just sounded like a drop we would have whenever someone's fighting. So now, you know, when that significant other tells you, no, there's no football this Sunday, we're doing so-and-so.
I want to pick a fight.
That's basically what they're telling me right there.
I want to pick a fight.
Thank you. Speaking of picking fights, I want to see some nastiness from the 49ers this week in Jacksonville. I'm not going to say pick a fight, but I want some nastiness this Sunday. Coming off a bye, 3-game losing streak. I need some nastiness from Nick Bosa, from Javon Hargrave, Chase Young. Get after Trevor Lawrence. Get that jersey dirty. Too many clean jerseys the last few weeks. PJ Walker, Kirk Cousins. Now, I don't really think their jerseys get dirty with turf, but neither here nor there. Joe Burrow. That guy even touched. Got to get the Trevor this week. Chase Young, maybe he can help with that. Here's Brian Baldinger talking about adding Young and getting an immediate upgrade on the line.
I think they're getting an upgrade over Cleveland Farrell, who's been starting out there, and Drake Jackson. I think they're getting an upgrade. That helps. It's interesting. Chase Young was the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2020. And I think the best game he played that year, the best game he ever played, was in San Francisco against the 49ers in Washington. That game, it still stands out in my mind. His movement, forced fumbles, passes defense, tackles behind the line of scrimmage. You go back and watch that game. I mean, maybe John Lynch just has that in his head. He's played okay this year, but they just weren't, their defensive front with Montez Sweat and Allen and Payne, they just weren't changing the game the way you got to change the game. And so I think the 49ers are looking to upgrade. They got to play better up front than they have over the last 3 losses. And so I think Chase can add to that right now.
888-957-9570. Chase Young's debut. How excited are we about that? I think we'd be more excited if you weren't coming off a 3-game losing streak. If, let's say, you were coming on like a 2 or 3 game winning streak. Oh, and we got Chase Young? Oh, my God. But now it's like, hey, Chase, you better do something. There's a lot of nervous energy right now I'm seeing from Niner fans. And I'm saying, don't be nervous. It's okay. It's all right. I'm not creating this urgency for you. Not just yet. Lose to the Buccaneers next week? Yeah. All right, maybe there's time to panic a little bit. But still, I've seen Kyle Shanahan-led teams be in much worse spots and make it all the way to the NFC bleeping championship. All right? I know every year is different. I know you had Jimmy Garoppolo back then. You had Brock Purdy now. Things are different. But the one constant is Kyle Shanahan. Oh, ye of little faith in Kyle Shanahan? Come on. One more from Baldy on how he would be grading Brock Purdy and living with some of his mistakes as of late.
I think it's been good. It's been good to very good. It hasn't been great because of the last 3 games, but you can't put it all on him, though. Like, it'd be good if Juwan Jennings runs a route that he's throwing to, and I don't know what Juwan was doing at the top of the route in the last game against Cincinnati, but it got intercepted. I mean, you're throwing these balls on timing. Like, the receivers have to win. They have to be where they're supposed to be. If you just wait for receivers to get open in this league, you're never going to be the elite offense. Sometimes you have to live with the mistakes. But he's made elite throws and and he runs the offense. The team has to play better around him. But yes, he can play better. He can eliminate some of those mistakes. But I don't want him, Joe, to eliminate the mistakes at the risk of not being aggressive.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you're not winning a championship. Mahomes doesn't have 2 in the bank if he's not aggressive and lives with the mistakes. You have to live with them.
Well, Baldy,
like, it can't be just let's play not to make mistakes. Nobody plays good like that.
I agree. So yes, you would like to limit those mistakes, but as soon as you start, isolating those and telling Brock, hey, maybe not do this, that's when a young quarterback can get in his own dome, and be too passive. And that's not what you want. And you need Brock to be aggressive because, quite honestly, you need his legs. You need it against the Bengals. Now, he can't be your leading rusher, not when you have Christian McCaffrey on your team. That cannot happen. But you need him to use his legs, extend plays, because, again, he just got compared to Patrick Mahomes there. Patrick Mahomes is one of the best to do it. Picking and choosing his spots, when to run, when not to run. And he's been more discerning as of late, Patrick Mahomes. You learned early on in his career, he can't be taking those shots. He's starting to hobble. Hell, Arden Key wrapped up his leg last year in the playoffs. High ankle sprain, he might have been done. Gutted it out, played within the pocket, extend just a little bit. Good things happen. And then he had that ridiculous performance in the Super Bowl after re-injuring it, coming out there and scampering for like 30 or 40 yards, whatever the hell that was against the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Oh, ridiculous. Brock Purdy, live with the mistakes now. It'll pay dividends later. All right? I think that's Baldy's ultimate overarching point. 888-957-9570, the number. 49ers, Jaguars. How are we feeling about this matchup? Trevor Lawrence v. Brock Purdy. Kyle Shanahan v. Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson, low-key, kind of slept on as a head coach, I think. Guy won a Super Bowl for Philadelphia and then is just like, gone. He won a Super Bowl for Philadelphia. The team that was always getting there, just couldn't quite win it. Whether it was their first appearance against the Raiders in the early 80s, losing to Jim Plunkett, Tom Flores, or going back with Andy Reid, playing against Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, T.O. with a broken leg and one of the greatest Super Bowl performances I have ever seen, win or losing. Guy was unbelievable. Should have given him the MVP. My God. Baller. Love T.O. ESPN 2K5 cover. I still got that game somewhere. $20. Shout out EB Games back then. Still the greatest football game of all time. ESPN 2K5. Don't at me. But I think Dougie P getting a little slept on still. I thought he should have been the coach of the year last year. Just what he inherited and what that team ended up doing, winning that division, right? Coming off the dumpster fire that Urban Meyer left at his doorstep. It was like that Billy Madison scene. Like, It was a bag of poo lit on fire, and Doug Peterson was the guy that had to stomp it all out. And then it got all over his shoe. He had to wipe it off. That was the playoff game. He wiped it off. They came back. They won. Then they played the Chiefs, I thought, pretty well. Trevor Lawrence had a good game against the Chiefs. His receivers let him down a lot. A lot of drops in that one. Tough shot. A lot of alligator arms. So Dougie P, maybe a Philly special. They still calling it that, or is it a Jacksonville Jaguars special? No, it originated in Philly. Trevor Lawrence v. Brock Purdy. That's what everyone's going to be circling, though. The chosen one versus Mr. Irrelevant. And I know the chosen one's LeBron. I don't even know. Does Trevor Lawrence even have a nickname? Does Sunshine, right? Because the beautiful hair. Again, he needs to be doing the Head and Shoulders. What you doing, Trev? All right? I see him after games. He's over at the Waffle House. By the way, I wish there was one of those. They have any of those on the West Coast, or is that a South thing? I always see the Waffle House memes and stuff like that, but I'm always looking at like the menu. I was like, oh, that sounds so good right now. Just like a buttered pecan waffle, syrup drenched all over, some hash browns, some bacon, some eggs. Oh, that sounds great right now. It's 5:58 a.m. I could smash that. I picked a horrible time to start my intermittent fasting again. Now, can't eat till 12 o'clock. It's tough. I guess I'll have my tea with honey. Yeah. That's pretty depressing, right? Who's been to the Waffle House? 888-957-9570. Let me know. I'll ask Bonte and Joe Shasky. They're coming up next, and they're going to be getting into the Jags, the 49ers. They're also going to be getting into the Warriors Nuggets, which, again, is tonight, 7 o'clock tip, 6 o'clock, Warriors Live, John Dickinson, before handing it off to the great Tim Roy, 888-957-9570. Morning Roast up next. Ponte Hill, Joe Shasky, 95.7 The Game.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. An Odyssey station.
This is the lunch rush at your local deli. Orders are flying in. Online, on the phone, and in person.
Order for Nick.
So is it possible that fast internet could help your business outrun the rush? It is with Comcast Business. Up-leveling your speed with gig speed Wi-Fi, powering all your devices, and fast downloads and